Good evening. Thank you very much for joining us here on Urban Debate on Mirror Now. I am Heena Gambhir. There are battles for the throne and marches on the road to power happening in different parts of the country. But ignored by these quests are the symbols of utter neglect, ranging from large issues like hunger, inflation, marginalization, to small potholes that cause acute misery and even deaths. A building collapse today in Kurla led to the death of 18 people. Less than 7 kilometers away from Chief Minister's residence, which is lying empty as it was vacated in a political act. This building is 25 kilometers away from the BJP headquarters, the driving force behind the Dethrone Uddhav movement. And it is 26 kilometers away from Raj Bhavan in Mumbai, where the constitutional representative of the President of India sits. This building collapse is just 27 kilometers away from another story of apathy and indifference, in which a soldier who proudly wore the Indian Army's olive greens to protect the nation, the ex-Army Major, Braveheart, Ronald Gomes, died not facing army bullets, but due to a pothole. There are billions of such ugly marks on the face of Indian roads, which are called the pathways to prosperity. Each one of them is a reminder of incompetence and indifference of elected representatives, our municipal bodies and their engineers. So tonight we want to ask a question from everybody who's likely to say in the coming days that we have the numbers to form the government or keep it. Who's responsible for these lives that have been lost? That's the urban debate tonight. Joining us on the broadcast with me is wife of late Major Ronald Gomes, Dr. Sheiba Ronald Gomes. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us on Urban Debate this evening. Mohit Bajaj, spokesperson of Shiv Sena, is live with us. Dr. Sudhir Krishna, former Secretary, Ministry of Urban Development, is live with us. Charan Sapra, spokesperson of the Congress Party. Dilip Cherian, founder, Perfect Relation. Abhijit Samant, leader of the BJP, also on the broadcast this evening with us. Good evening to all of you. Thank you for joining us on Urban Debate. Dr. Sheba, extremely sorry for your loss. And it's very brave of you that despite going through so much in last few hours, you have come to us to tell your story so that nobody else dies like this. Nobody deserves to die like this. Can you tell us, ma'am, exactly what had happened?
My husband had gone to a place called Belapur for doing some shopping. He was on his way back and he was on a scooter Activa. So there was some pothole and what I've heard is that my husband's scooter wheel went into that pothole, and when he entered that pothole, there was some bus coming from the other side and he lost balance in that area. While he was in that pothole, he sort of got, I don't know what exactly happened at that time. The Activa, instead of, trying to come out of it by accelerating slightly, he lost his control and pressed the accelerator totally. And with that, he was, the scooter flew and hit a wall about 20 meters away. He was with his helmet, he was with his N95 mask. He hit against the wall, the scooter fell down. No, he fell down first and the scooter fell on top of him. And then after that, people tell me that there were some local people who came and took him to the hospital, and then I was informed and I reached there. When I reached there, he explained that he had severe shoulder pain, neck pain, etc. And after a little time, there was some bubbles and all, like a minor fit happening. And then those authorities told me, take your husband to another higher level hospital. On that day, unfortunately in Navi Mumbai, there was a strike for the new airport happening. Okay, so when I had to come from the hospital, my hospital is the DY Patil. From there, when I was coming, that had taken me 40 minutes, which is a normal 10 minutes run. I was asking that which hospital should I take him to. They told me to take him to another local hospital in Kharghar. When I took him over there, it's on the first floor. and the lift could not take in the stretcher. Then I said that let it be, and I ran up over there. I asked them that do you have a CT scan machine? They said they don't have. So I decided to go to Apollo, took my husband in that same ambulance with that oxygen, etc. It was a Omni, and took my husband, went towards Apollo. That entire road was jammed till we reached, it took at least 20-25 minutes, all trailers going towards JNPT Uran. So I lost time outside, the initial hospital, the second hospital, and there was no way to reach a third hospital. And by the time we got him there, they started the CPR. In 45 minutes they tried, and they said, very sorry that your husband is gone. So this is exactly, ma'am, what happened.
Really sad to hear what you all had to go through on that particular day. But you're telling us that the life of your husband could have been saved if this pothole was not there, if the condition of the road was slightly better. We've also spoken to some people of that particular area, ma'am, and they tell us that they have given many complaints.
That is what all the shopkeepers in that area told me when I went there. On the other side of the road, people have said that they have given complaints. Yes.
And nothing was done about those complaints. It is the monsoon season. Usually the roads are supposed to be prepared so that we do not have these kind of incidents. What is it, ma'am, that you are demanding today as you speak with us here on Mirror Now?
Good work. See, I am demanding, no, ma'am, just one thought in my head. My husband is an army officer. He has paid his taxes regularly for more than 40-45 years. And can I not expect good roads, better health care, a lane for an ambulance, or an alternative route when there is a strike? If these things could have been prevented, my husband would have been alive, ma'am. This is what I want. Simple things we ask for. Good roads, good health care. When there is, if there are, what do you call, strikes happening on the road, should there be an ambulance path? There must be somebody who needs it, like my husband needed it, And I was waiting for, half an hour on that, one stretch, which is it's a total 10 minutes run. We reached after 40 minutes. So everywhere I lost time. I've lost my husband, ma'am. And he did not deserve to go that way, ma'am. He did not deserve to go that way. Otherwise, absolutely fit, healthy, 66 years old, doing everything, a perfect, upright, patriotic Indian citizen, ma'am. He did not deserve to go that way, ma'am. He did not deserve to go that way.
Definitely. Absolutely. I completely understand, Dr. Sheba, what you might be going through at this point in time. Nobody deserves to go like this. And your husband has served the country for so many years. The least that the country could do was to look after him after he retired, and sadly even that could not happen. And I feel ashamed today because for a distance that easily could have been covered in 10 minutes, you saying that it took you 40 minutes, you ran from pillar to post just to save your husband, but you couldn't.
Yes.
It's a very, very sorry state of affairs, ma'am, and that's the reason why today, when politically so much is happening, people are fighting for power.
I agree.
We want to tell your story
so that
about
us, ma'am. It's
no
just
other
about
life
power.
is lost, ma'am.
That is exactly why I have agreed to speak to you all, ma'am.
Because Dr. Sheba, for Mirror Now, it is you first. It is our responsibility to raise the issues of the people. Yes, politically, a lot is happening that's making headlines everywhere else. But for us, the life of citizens is very, very important. What is it that you will like to say, ma'am, to the people in power who are fighting right now to remain in power, who don't probably care about a life that has been lost today? Because it was a pothole, and standard responses are given every time there is a death.
The citizens' life should matter. We are the ones who make you the politicians. It should matter. Citizens' life should matter. And that is just of no value in this country. And I'm very, very disappointed that my husband had to leave the world this way.
Yes. Dr. Sheba, can I please request you to stay on with us? Let me also get a reaction from my other guests who are also joining us on the debate this evening, because it's a very, very important issue. A report has suggested that, on a daily basis, at least 6 people are dying in this country because of pothole, and no one really deserves to die like this. Mohit Bajaj, spokesperson of Shiv Sena, is live with us. Mohit Bajaj, what will you tell Dr. Sheba this evening?
First of all, my deepest sympathy for the loss, and it's really very loss that it's very shameful that the person who fight for the nation, the person who doesn't deserve this way, that Mrs. Sheba is saying that he gone that way, that is not good. Even I'm feeling very shameful that the concerned departments, and even it is coming on our shoulders also, because right now in Maharashtra we are on the power, so no doubt it's coming on our shoulders as well. And while talking about the same scenario, the same concept, it is not only in you can say in the Maharashtra it is happening. The same condition is of all the other states of India. So for that, not only the government, not only the concerned departments or the companies who are taking the
if
tender
that
of
is the
same,
condition of all
that
the
is
states in the
responsible
country, how can that be an alibi for the state of Maharashtra? Two wrongs do not make a right, sir. I don't want to talk about other states. I want to talk about what has happened in the state of Maharashtra.
Yes, exactly. You are right, and I accept the same. And as I already told, that it's very shameful, and we will going to take the strict action with the concerned departments, with the concerned company, whosoever is responsible. Our government will take the strict action. But now here comes the next solution. Why we are waiting for a person to die in this way? Why we are simply waiting and watching? Every particular citizen is having the power in the pocket. Right now, everybody is having the mobile in the pocket. If you or anybody else will see this particular type of hole or whatever the condition of the roads, they can they can give a single tweet to the concerned department, to the government. And I'm very much sure that this digital India will make a big movement, and no doubt if this will going to do this, then no doubt we can save
Mr.
n number
Mohit
of lives.
Bajaj, when Mr. Charan Singh Mr. Charan Singh Sapra, in this case also, the residents of Kharghar had sent several photographs of potholes on arterial roads in Kharghar to PCMC officials. Nothing happened, sir. The standard response we got even this time as well. Ganesh Deshmukh, who is PCMC commissioner after this incident, had said the death of ex-army major in the road mishap is indeed an unfortunate incident. Immediately after learning about the fatal incident, I obtained information from the concerned engineer. Prima facie, it appears like chamber has some level difference. Irrespective of the technical error, it is being ensured to prevent the repetition of such fatal incidents. Standard response, sir. Every time a person dies, a family has been devastated, sir. You heard the wife of an ex-army major who gave his entire life to ensure that we all are able to sleep peacefully in our homes every single day. He didn't deserve this.
Yeah, very rightly. To begin with, I would like to say that this fatal incident should not have happened. It's a very unfortunate incident. All my sympathies with Dr. Sheiba Gomes. And I feel you are right to say that the administration has to be alert. Mr. Ganesh Deshmukh, who's the municipal commissioner of Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation, he and his subordinates should have taken care of this. If there were complaints, they should have made a correction, and they should have attended the complaint. I feel action should be taken against Ganesh Deshmukh as well as his subordinates who have overlooked these complaints. And we have lost a former or an ex-serviceman of this country. It's a very unfortunate situation. And I would like to say that I will myself try to look into this. I'll talk to my senior leaders, and we'll see that the Navi Mumbai Municipal Corporation should put its act together. This is not done. The administration should not be spared. Each and every life is important, whether it is in Navi Mumbai, or it is in Mumbai, or it is in Bangalore, or it is in Delhi. Every single life of an Indian is very important, and action should be taken.
Mr. Abhijit Samant, this is what we hear every time there is a tragedy, every time there is a death. Because for the people in power, these are mere numbers. These people are important only when you require votes. But when will that action be actually taken? 39 people lost their lives because of potholes in Maharashtra in the year 2020. That time also, after every death, I can go back into the reports and tell you exactly the same thing was being said. Strict action will be taken. This won't be repeated again. Yet it repeats itself, sir. For how long we will continue to hear the same alibis?
I think wherever such incidents happens, actually, first of all, I pay my tribute to retired Major Gomes. And whenever any such incident happens in a particular area, I feel that whoever is responsible for that particular area, when we talk about BMC, in BMC, we have got ward-wise maintenance department and other departments. And the engineers up to, say, sub-engineer, assistant engineer, and executive engineer. I have seen that last 2 years back, 2 or 3 years back in 2018, we lost one renowned gastroenterologist, Dr. Amrapurkar, during rainy day, when he fell into a manhole. Manhole was opened. Here the level was not, and there the manhole was opened, and his body was found after 2 days, some maybe 20, 25 kilometers away. And during that time, BMC shamelessly said it is not our fault. What you are saying is right. But what you are saying is, yes, you are holding politicians responsible. Yes, we are the people who are in front of people. We go to people, ask for votes. We are responsible. I am not denying responsibility. But whatever maintenance has to be done, whether it is road, potholes, this drain system, footpaths, then our dividers, at least before rainy days, they have to look for the safety of our citizens, whether they are walking, they are driving, or they are climbing on staircase. And I am really feeling sad that administration should be taken for task. These administration people who are deployed in that particular area, they are going scot-free. Strict action should be taken against them. Unless and until there is an accountability, it is not going to improve. Hello?
Mr. Dilip Cherian, we heard the representatives of 3 political parties on the show. Everybody again says the same thing, action should be taken, strict action should be taken so that this does not happen again, but yet it keeps on happening. You heard what Dr. Sheba had to go through. No one deserves to die like this. How will you like to, try and address her concerns? What will you like to say to her? What will you like to say to the people in power?
First of all, of course, express deep condolences to Dr. Gomes, and the fact that she has lost her husband is something that we all ought to agonize about. The politicians have given the standard canned responses, The real urban solution to this is to have corporations, mayors, and real structures which are responsible both politically and administratively. Today, we are talking of having lost the life of a major. And this is a life we could easily have not lost. And between the traffic jams and the potholes, we are talking of urban collapse. This is happening across the country, and this is no excuse. The reason we have this is because the MLAs and even the corporators are too far away from the citizens. Citizens need to take more power into their hands, make them more accountable, and do that on a daily basis. I think programs like this will hopefully wake up urban citizens, because urban India pays the majority of taxes but gets shoddy services across the board. We are talking of lives being lost, and we don't realize that this is an annual, a daily occurrence, and that pains all of us as citizens. Surely we deserve more. Surely the reform ought to be basic and fundamental. We need to have structures which are, as I said, responsible politically, so you can vote them out, and responsible administratively, so that this litany of excuses which we are hearing time and time again on issue after issue goes away, and we as citizens take the power into our hands to save the lives and preserve the lives of those who are still around. I think this nation deserves that reform before any other reform, and this needs to be put into place urgently.
Absolutely. Dr. Sudhir Krishna, because it can be anyone tomorrow.
Well, I think at the outset, my deepest sympathy for Dr. Sheba and her family members for this great loss. And on the issue of what to do now for other cities and city of Mumbai and all other cities, I think it is primarily an issue of management and perhaps management of city roads. We have to give fresh and concerted attention. We have smart city mission. We are giving attention to cities becoming smart in like digitalization and so on. I think a time has come to have smart roads in the city, safe and smart roads, a national mission, a national awareness, and all cities should take a promise that all roads will be good, because urban life is dependent almost entirely on road on one hand, and of course water and power supply. So the roads have to be given greater attention, and city managers have to realize. That is one part. And for that realization to come, I think legal issues are also there. Whether there is a criminal liability on the municipal corporation or anybody who is owning the road for having, not maintained the road, which led to loss of life. Is there a criminal liability? Because I remember there were several cases in metro rail projects in some cities where workers died, and because of the poor safety conditions, and the chief executive of the metro corporation was hauled up in the court and is responsible for the cause of death because of the poor management of the safety arrangements. Similarly here also, I think legal issues have also to be seen. There are management issues are there, and I think the monetary issues are not there probably. Financially, municipal bodies are by and large having enough resources thanks to the 15th Central Finance Commission grant, State Finance Commission grants, state government support, and so on and so forth. The municipal bodies do not have, and in general, shortage of funds. So it is a managerial issue and legal issue that has to be resolved.
And that needs to be done. And Mr. Abhijit Samant, now the question here is that when so many complaints were given to PCMC, nothing was really done about those complaints. So when will action really be taken? Because tonight, I don't want to hear the promises that I keep on hearing every time there is an incident like this. You tell me, when will the action be taken and what action will be taken against the people who are responsible?
Yeah, madam, you are, I think, asking me a question about BCMC. I'm not giving explain, but what practice we do in BMC that I am trying to tell you. I think Mr. Charan has raised some question that what these corporators are aware. We are not aware. If you see my own ward, I am taking every day morning round, and we find all these kind of issues. And all these issues are reported to municipal corporation, and we see to it that these issues are resolved. I think in PCMC, for last 1.5 years, there is an administration, there is no corporator, and it is not that because there is no corporator, but even if citizens are sending complaints to the administration should take cognizance of it. Now we can backtrack on all these records, and we should see that who has received these, because even today we are sending tweets and we are getting action. So who has received this complaint and why they have not resolved this? And I think we can take a criminal action against these concerned officers if they have received the complaints and still they are not taking the cognizance of it. Because these are the things, small things, but can create a big issue like today. Our Gomes, Major Gomes has lost his life. That was a small thing they could have resolved within half an hour after getting an complaint. Why they have not done? So we have to see who is the responsible officer. And I'm not just saying that I'm giving excuses. This is not excuse, madam. I'm telling you, and this is what we are doing in corporation, Mumbai corporation. We are taking people for the task. They are paid for that. And why they are not doing? And see, for every officer, there is a very small area, at least in Mumbai. Outside Mumbai, yes, area may be large, but in Mumbai, area is small. Still, we see potholes, we see the drainage is kept open for no reason. Many places we have seen that drainage, those covers are frozen. Let it be, but we should replace it. And every ward, this engineer also has got small area. They should take a daily round. If they are not taking daily round, corporators are telling them. If corporators are not recognizing, at least citizens are sending them the complaints. And after sending complaints also, if you are not taking any action, then you should be taken for task. And I think the corporation rule also must be having some accountability. And as per that accountability, they should be charged. So we are not running away from any responsibility. Sorry.
Okay. Dr. Sheba wanted to make a point. Yes, Dr. Sheba.
I just wanted to add that in the list of the things which are being done, there is constant digging happening via Mahanagar gas and other such utilities. So even that, Mahanagar, the cable pipelines, the Geo fibers, the Airtel fiber, whatever fibers are being laid, and then there are people who just cut an entire road across for some water supply pipelines. And then everything is left as it is, and it is otherwise a shoddy job is done. So, this is not the way. And in Navi Mumbai, ours is Panvel Municipal Corporation, but we also have SIDCO, something with SIDCO also. So, who is responsible? Nobody really knows, for all these things. And it becomes so difficult for the citizens, somebody is laying a line, and then that road will be dug up somewhere. It will be left half done, and maybe for a month it will be that way. Then there will be some tar, the first rain will come, everything gets washed away. So there has to be some processes in place, ma'am. There has to be. We are in 2022. We are doing brilliant highways. Why can't we have brilliant roads everywhere, every place?
Absolutely. And while we're talking about smart cities, we are looking at a digital revolution in the country. Dr. Sudhir Krishna, it's a valid point that Dr. Sheba has raised. Where should a citizen really go? Because there are so many, you can say, organizations or rather structures that are operating at the same time. There are multiple layers. There's SIDCO, there's PCMC, then there is a GAPS pipeline, then there's another, thing happening. So what should be the solution? Something that is doable.
Yes, I think it's a very important point. And city roads are owned by large number of agencies and authorities. A citizen traverses through from point A to point B, and he may be traversing through roads owned by half a dozen or even more agencies. Some road may be owned by railways, some by airport authority, some by defense, and some by municipality, some by state government, and so on and so forth. So it is high time that all city roads should be handed over to the municipality concerned, 100%. And along with the road, the drains also. A lot of issues are with the drains. We are discussing only the road potholes, but the flooding of the roads is a very big challenge. And this flooding happens because the drains are also owned by the road owning agency, and road owning agencies being multiple, the drains are also owned by multiple agencies, and the drains are not therefore aligned properly and not maintained in alignment also. And therefore, it's high time to take a policy decision that all city roads, along with the footpath and the drains, shall be handed over to the municipal body, and in the larger area to the metropolitan authority, so that the rainwater finally finds a way to the drains and rivers, whichever are the nearby rivers and so on. So these are a management issue, a serious management issue, where we have to launch satellite helps. Satellite imagery helps us to do all that. So it is a question of determination. With great determination, we have launched the Smart City Mission, Amrut program, and so on. I think a time has come to launch a national mission for safe city roads. Safe city, smartness will come later. For safe city roads with proper drains and proper footpaths.
Safety is something that we need first. Of course, we can make it smart later. Very well said. And what you have said is very doable as well. It's very simple. What we need is the intention. And politicians need to realize that the life of a citizen is very, very important, not just for the votes. Because when votes are needed, then citizens become very important. But after they get votes also, it is their responsibility to take care of the people of this country, people who vote them to power. I'm completely out of time, but Dr. Sheba, I want to give you the last word. Firstly, I would like to apologize to you because your husband ensured we all could sleep peacefully in our homes because he protected us. He worked in the Indian Army. He saved us, and a pothole claimed his life. Apathy claimed his life. From this platform, ma'am, what is it that you will like to say tonight so that now this should be that turning point so that nobody else loses his or her life because of apathy, negligence?
That's exactly what I want. That, things have to be in place. We need to have good roads, lanes, to reach hospitals. We need to have good hospitals, trained personnel. We need all basic infrastructure, basic things correctly in place in our country. Other things can come later, but the basics have to be got right, ma'am. That is what I would like to say. Starting with the roads, then the hospitals, then the access to the hospitals, all that we require it to be, in place in our country. And I hope that we would get it in place so that just, for no reason a life is not lost. An avoidable accident, totally avoidable death could have been prevented.
Absolutely. Dr. Sheba, thank you very much for joining us and stay strong. These are very, very tough moments. I'd like to thank all my guests as well. Thank you very much for joining us here on Urban Debate on Mirror Now this evening. We'll, of course, be tracking this very, very closely because taxpayers are now demanding accountability and we do not want any life to be lost because of negligence or apathy of the politicians. With this, we will slip into a very, very short break, but there's lots coming up for you on the other side as well. Don't go anywhere.